It began with a scream. Not born of fear but anger. The kind that seeds under years of silence. The kind that bursts forth when the truth finally claws its way from the shadows. Madame Atboy, he is not your son. Silence fell like a knife in the living room of the Asabel mansion. Zara stood shuddering, lips parched, eyes wide, the maid's uniform sticking to her body like a jail. Her hands trembled, one curled around a bit of paper, DNA reports smudged by her tears. Situated across from her, Kioma Asabel gripped her wineglass, realizing suddenly that it could spill. Her husband, Chief Desmond Asabel, a well-respected politician and businessman, got up from the velvet sofa gradually like a lion that knows his authority is being threatened. "You little rat," he growled. "Do you know what you're saying?" But Zara didn't budge. "I kept quiet when you yelled. I remained silent when you touched me. When you said it was my fault your wife could not give you more children. I remained silent for 7 years, but I will not remain silent anymore." Kioma's eyes flicked between her husband and the girl she had called useless help. 7 years, 7 birthdays, 7 lies, the child upstairs, the boy they raised. Zara's voice cracked now, but she remained standing. "He is my son, madame, and this test confirms it. Your husband, he raped me." Main story begins. Zara's journey unfolds. Zara had been just 16 when she arrived in Lagos, orphaned, exposed, too innocent for the city that devoured girls like her alive. The Asabels were to be her rescuers. They clothed her, fed her, called her lucky, but behind closed doors, luck turned into lechery. Chief Desmond, the man with costly cologne and phony prayers, started coming to her room late at night. She bled in secret. She prayed, begged, and hid her agony until the morning it didn't arrive her period. The secret pregnancy, she was pregnant, and she couldn't leave, not without a house, not with no place to call home, not when Desmond threatened, "If you say anything, I'll kill you. No one would miss you. You're only a maid." So she remained. They informed Madame Kioma that the baby belonged to a stupid boyfriend in the village. Kioma, disgusted even to bother, permitted the child to remain after all. He was useful to frolic with their own son. Except, there was but one boy, and the 2 boys shared the same birthmark. But Kioma never noticed. The Asabels didn't observe too closely until the boy started resembling the man of the house too much. The DNA test and Zara's defiance. Zara saved for years. Every available naira, every tip, every coin. She sold her gold necklace, the only thing she had left from her mother. She filled the boy's toothbrush and her own. She sent it. She waited, and when the results arrived, the paper spoke for itself. 98% chance of maternity. But it was the second result that tied her stomach into knots. Paternity, Chief Desmond Asabel, -99% Confrontation, the house burns with truth. Zara picked Sunday lunch, when Kioma's friends were around. When Desmond was bragging about politics, she entered, uniform crisp, back straight. "Wacha, Nizama." It was more than a bombshell. It was a wake for lies. Kioma passed out. Desmond tried to attack Zara, but was restrained by his own brother. The boy, remaining by the staircase, observed it all in silence, his world tearing apart. The fight for justice. "She's not backing down." They evicted her, but not before she posted the DNA test, audio recordings, and diary entries on the press. Zara's story became viral. #Justice for Zara. #House help, not trash. #DNA exposed Desmond. Women all over Nigeria spoke out. Desmond's empire was destroyed. Kioma vanished. Some claim she went to London, others claim she was admitted into a psychiatric hospital after the betrayal. Zara's rebirth, a mother, a fighter, a symbol. Zara did not seek fame, but the world gave it to her. She became a voice, a beacon for girls who had been labeled nothing. She testified on television. NGOs contacted her. A lawyer assisted her in suing Desmond for child support, emotional damages, and criminal assault. He was convicted. 15 years in prison without bail. Zara received her home, her son, her dignity, and she began a foundation, Made to Mother, a place for girls who couldn't return home. Closing scene. The boy's question one night. She had her son approach her. "Mummy, who's my real dad?" Zara knelt down to him, tears welling. "You are my real boy, and I am your real everything." She wrapped her arms around him, a soft whisper. "We don't come from monsters, we rise above them." Zara believed it was all over. The truth was out. Desmond was arrested. Her son was safe, but justice doesn't come easily when the man you expose built the system himself. It began with a phone call. Zara, they're reopening the case. They're trying to discredit your DNA test, and you, the police officer who once took her statement, now wouldn't take her calls. Her lawyer, Mr. Ajay, did not mince words, corruption rearing its head. They are trying to brand you unstable, manipulative, that you faked the results and tempted him for money. Zara's hands were shaking again, not out of fear, but out of rage. They want war. She breathed. I'll have war. The system strikes. BACK Desmond was suddenly let out on medical bail. Photos surfaced of him in a wheelchair, oxygen mask on, frail and fighting for his life. The media angle shifted, from predator politician to dying innocent man. Kioma reappeared, crying, clutching a Bible. The devil used her to destroy my family, she said to reporters. She was never raped. She came onto him. This girl bewitched my husband. Zara viewed the video, anger churning in her throat. She had everything to lose, spoken truth, and now they were calling her a manipulative seductress. Digital warfare. Her voice rises again, but this time, Zara wasn't alone. She went on social media, a confession, video raw and unfiltered. She revealed the bruises, read from her diary, played a hidden recording, Desmond's voice, slurring from a drink. Your body is mine. No one will believe you. The internet erupted. #believes Zara, #justice for survivors, #expose Desmond. Again the popular court turned again, but the actual court, that was still ruled by money. A secret ally appears one night. A woman stood outside Zara's apartment building, mid-40s, fidgeting, trembling. My name is Amara, she told us. I used to work for them, before you, before everything. Amara had tales, terrible tales. She'd been dispatched away after having gotten too close to Desmond's secrets. I know where the hush money went. I know which Judge Kioma's family has in their pocket. She gave Zara a flash drive. Do what I couldn't. Exposure. A new scandal erupts. Zara leaked it. Bank transactions, bribes, private emails from Desmond to a judge of the High Court. She printed the documents, marched to the press, and delivered them in person, on camera. This time, the headlines yelled, Isabel scandal deeper than expected. House help becomes whistleblower. Court officials implicated in bribery ring covering sexual abuse case. The second trial stakes higher than ever, the court resumed. Zara was braver this time, not merely a maid, not only a victim, a warrior with proof, a fire-spewing mother. Desmond's attorneys called her names, labeled her manipulative, vengeful, unstable, until Zara presented the secret paternity test. Kioma took 2 years ago and hid when she learned the truth. The judge hesitated, then looked up. This court has witnessed enough manipulation, and at last, the truth. Verdict and ramifications. Guilty of rape, coercion, witness tampering, perjury. Chief Desmond received 35 years. His assets were frozen, his empire destroyed. Kioma was indicted for obstruction of justice and conspiracy. She wept on national television, but nobody cared anymore. Zara's next chapter. The light after the war. Months went by. Life slowed down. Zara's foundation, Made to Mother, opened its second shelter. She was given a national award for courage. Books were written about her, schools named halls after her. But Zara never wanted fame. She just wanted justice and peace. One night, as she watched her son sleep, he rolled over and mumbled, "You're the strongest person I know, Mom." She kissed his forehead. "No, I just stopped being afraid." She fought for the truth. But the lies never fully died. Approx 20,000 characters finale, suspenseful, powerful, and SEO optimized 10-minute opening hook. The shadow after victory. It was supposed to end there. Justice done. Desmond incarcerated. Kioma indicted. Zara vindicated. Established a shelter. Became a household name. But power doesn't easily perish. A letter was sent to her mailbox. No stamp. No address. Your war isn't over. Look within. She had sent a photo of her new assistant, Deborah, leaning in the ear of someone Zara knew from court. Desmond's cousin, a lawyer, one of his cleaners. The new battle infiltration, Zara's charity, Made to Mother, had become a beacon, a refuge for battered domestic workers and single mothers. Deborah was her right-hand person. Effective, compassionate, but Zara couldn't help it. Had she opened the henhouse to a fox? She began reviewing security logs. Deborah had transferred hundreds of documents to a flash drive, survivor files, court documents, donor information. Zara accosted her. Deborah didn't contradict her. She just smiled. He might be behind bars, but men like him don't remain caged forever. Then she departed. The attack had started within days. Fabricated tales swamped the internet. Zara had faked records. Her organization was a donation laundering front. Survivors she aided were dubbed paid actresses, anonymous blogs, spurious testimonies. Even a viral TikTok spliced video of Zara shouting in court, manipulated to portray her as deranged. Donors froze funds. The government suspended her NGO license on account of investigation. Zara sat by herself in her office. Years of work undone, all over again. Secrets from the past returned. She looked to her lawyer. Mr. Oj, someone is behind this smear campaign. We must discover who. The trail went to a prison guard who'd been bribed to allow Desmond access to a secure video call system. From his cell, Desmond had constructed a digital army. He didn't require freedom to destroy her. I told you, Zara, he said in an leaked video. Even from inside, I am still in control. You were never more than a moment. But Zara had heard that voice before, shaking in the dark, helpless. This time, it only served to ignite her fire. Zara strikes back one final time. She rounded up all the survivors of her foundation. They gave statements, unfiltered, real, a 10-part docuseries called The Truth They Tried to Bury. She collaborated with journalists from around the globe, dumped all the files, all the receipts, all the leaked hacks Deborah pilfered on the internet. It got picked up by a global news agency. Nigerian whistleblower fights shadow war. From inside prison walls, the internet spun around again. This time, wholeheartedly on her side. A judge ordered her foundation's license be reinstated. The slander blogs traced back to a PR agency with ties to Desmond's cousin. Arrests were made. The final trial, legacy on the line. Zara was called to testify once more, no longer as a victim, but as a guardian of truth. She appeared before the court and declared, I was raped at 16, called a liar, gaslighted by the media. I spoke, and they attempted to erase me once more. But I am here, and I won't rest until no girl sleeps in terror of her boss. Not here, not this lifetime. Desmond's supporters were sent to prison by the court. The law created a new Zara's Bill, safeguarding domestic workers throughout Nigeria. Years later, her son's voice. 15 years went by. Zara's son, Chika, who is now 20, was at a podium in front of his university, being awarded for criminal justice reform. He spoke. My mother didn't just fight for justice. She raised it, fed it, nursed it back to life. I am the child of a survivor, and I carry her fire. Zara's eyes welled up with tears. She had scars, deep ones, but the world saw her now as something else, a warrior, a truth-teller, a builder of safe futures. The final scene. Zara walks alone through the halls of her foundation, walls filled with photos, letters, art from children, lives she helped shape. She pauses at a new frame. A quote from her first court testimony, I am no longer afraid of the dark. I've become its light. She smiles and walks into her office, where another survivor waits.